Hello, this is Coach Shafto. This is the quiz that we just took. So I'm going to go through it so we can get an idea of how to do these problems and you guys can learn and grow in your understanding of percents. If you remember previously, we learned that whenever we have a percent, our basic setup is going to be a fraction bar equals a fraction bar. I'm going to have my percent, then I'm going to have 100, and then I'm going to have my part, and then my whole. So that's my basic setup. And so if I set that up here, I have my percent, which says here that it's 2%. And then we put that out of 100, and it's 100%. You don't need to put the percent signs. I'm just putting them here to indicate, yeah, this is a percent. And it says it's of 38,259, or we could say out of 38,259. And so that indicates that this is going to be my whole. So I've got 38,259. And so a way to solve this, we could find patterns. So we could either divide here, right here. So 2 divided by 100, that would give me 0.202. And then multiply up here. Or another way to do it is a trick in which we remember that when I multiply across, this was done to see if fractions are equivalent. When you multiply across, you get the same solution. So 38,259 times 2 will give me the same thing as 100 times whatever that number is. So if this is true, since we don't know this number, that's part of a multiplication problem, we can reverse this and divide. So it tells me that I take 38,000 and multiply across, and then I'm just going to divide what's left over. And so if I use my calculator, I have my solution gives me 38,259 times 2, because we're multiplying across, and then I divide by 100. And this gives me 765.18. And that is my answer right here, 765.18. Okay, question number 2. 50 is 30% of what number? So again, I'm going to set up my same setup. Fraction bar equals fraction bar. And I've got my percent. It tells me that's 30%. That's always going to be out of 100%. Then it says 50 is. Well, it's of what number? I don't know what it's out of, but I know that it is 50. So that's going to go on top, and we don't know what my solution is because it says of what number. So it's out of what? I don't know what it's out of, so I put a box there. Again, we could divide 30 divided by 100, and we find that 0.3 and do the same thing on the other side. Or we can cross multiply, because when we cross multiply, we get the same product. 50 times 100 will be 500. So this is going to be 500 will be equal to some number times 30. Well, if I don't know what the part of a multiplication problem is, I divide. So I'm going to take 500 divided by 30, and that will give me the solution, which is 16.67. If we round, if you get 66, that's fine as well. 16.67 is the answer here. We go down. Number 3 says the average calorie intake requirement for an adult is about 200 calories per day. The recommended daily sugar intake is 5%. How many calories of sugar should you eat each day? Again, we're going to set up our fraction bars. And so this tells me that I've got my 5% is sugar. And then that's out of 100, which is my whole. And then it says 2,000 calories is my recommended calorie intake. That's everything that I should eat in a day. And so this means that 2,000 is the total, and this is 2,000 calories. That's my total for how much I should be eating in a day. And so if I were to then cross multiply, 5 times 2,000 is 10,000. That's going to be equal to the other side cross multiplied 100 times, I don't know. Well, again, remember when we don't know the answer to a multiplication problem, we divide. And so we're dividing by 100. And 1,000 divided by 100, we're going to knock off these zeros, and I'm left with just 100. So the answer here is 100 calories is the maximum that should be coming from sugar. This means that basically your Coke, if you drink one, you are done with sugar for the whole day. Go up to question number 4. Jessica consumes 862 calories from carbohydrates. There was 42% of her total amount of calories today. How many total calories did she consume? Well, if she consumes 862 from carbohydrates, that's just carbohydrates. Later on it says how many total. Well, we don't know the total. So that's going to be down here. This is my total calories from carbs, which means that 862 is my calories from carbohydrates. This is my total. And that's going to be 42, and that's always going to be out of 100. So when we solve this, again, we can cross multiply. 862 times 100 is equal to 86,200. I don't really have space here, but if I did, I would go ahead and rewrite. This would be my unknown, my box, times 42 is equal to, that dot means multiply, 86,200. So when I solve this, I divide by 42 on both sides, divide by 42, and that gives me 2,052.38. If you just put 2,052, that's fine. But this is 2,052 from total calories that we're eating in a day. Question 5 says use a proportion to find 82% of $410, 95%. This is 8.2%. Remember that it's not 82%. I said that earlier. And this is out of $410. So if it's out of something, this is my whole. That's money. So when I solve this, I can cross multiply. And I get, when I multiply them, this is going to give me 8.2 times 410.95, which is going to give me $3,369.79. And then over here, that's equal to 100 times some unknown. I don't know this. And later on, instead of a box, we're going to put an X, but right now I'm just using the box, so it's not confusing. And so when we do this, we've got this. And remember, if I don't know the answer to a multiplication problem, I divide to find what it is. So I divide by 100. I divide by 100. This goes away. I'm left with my answer. And when I divide by 100, you really just move the decimal. So this ends up being $33.69. Put $33.70, that's fine. $33.69. Finally, my extra credit, we get a 15% discount on a pair of Jordans. Those Jordans cost $249.99. That's the whole cost. So this is $249.99. And then over here, this is 15%. This is 100%. Again, you don't need those percent signs. You really shouldn't have them there, but put it in there. So we can cross multiply 15 times 249.99. If I do 15 times 249.99 is equal to $3,749.85. That's equal to 100 times some unknown that I don't know. So then to solve this, we do the opposite because we don't know the part of a multiplication problem. So we divide by 100. Divide by 100. So I'm going to hit divide by 100. And that gives me $37.49, or 50 cents if you rounded. So now when I look at this, it says, how much will you pay for the shoes? Well, I'm not about to buy a pair of Jordans for $37.50. That's the discount. 15% corresponds to the discount. I now need to subtract this in order to really get my final answer. So let's go ahead and do that. So if I'm subtracting this, I need to take $249.99, and I'm subtracting $37.49. So I have $249.99, and look at $37.49. If I subtract this, then 9 minus 9 is 0, 9 minus 4 is 5, 9 minus 7 is 2, 4 minus 3 is 1, and then I have 2. So my final price is $212.50.